harmony today. So you've all seen the Yin Yang symbol. White is Yang, black is Yin. White is generally active, Yin is passive. Yang is more insubstantial, expansive, moving, like fire. And Yin is more passive, it has to be moved by something else, and it's heavy, dense, represented by earth, as well as water, that kind of thing. Yeah. And remember, within the Yang, there's a little bit of Yin, and the opposite in Yin is Yang. And basically, you know, if this was a moving animation, this black dot would gradually get bigger, and this one would turn to black, and this white one would get gradually bigger, and this would turn to white, and this would revolve with the white pushing into the black and the black going around. You don't need to know that, I just thought. Okay, so when we're looking at the body, when we say the substantial aspect, the Yin aspect, it's the substantial. It's like your physical presence, if you like. It's like the fluids of the body. And it's, imagine every single cell in your body is heavy with water. Water always wants to find the lowest level. So you kind of relaxing into the ground. Heavy, feeling heaviness. And imagine we're full of water, but the water's trapped in sections because your stiffness is like valve, you know, trapping the water. So if you imagine like water in your head, and you can relax your neck, the valve in your neck, then the water could flow out of the head and into the chest. And you could relax your shoulders, the water could flow into the upper arm. Relax your elbows, and it flows into the lower arm. Relax your wrist, it flows into the fingers. Yeah, it's really that. We can relax the chest and relax here, this area just below the chest. We can imagine the water in the chest sinking through and filling your abdomen. And then if you can imagine the hips released enough and the water can flow into your thighs. And then the knees relax enough, it can flow down to your lower legs. If the ankles can relax enough, flow into the feet and then into the ground. So there's a constant feeling of water falling through the body. You can always imagine like it's a constant flow going down. So as it goes down, it's sort of pulling the arms slightly open and the fingers slightly open. So it's very substantial, heavy. Another way of looking at it was this idea of having weights around your abdomen. And if someone's, you know, if you're on the bottom of the ocean, you don't want to float off, so you feel very weighted. Or somebody comes up behind you and tries to lift you up, and you sort of give them your weight. So it's about freeing your weight. A Fang song to release the joints and realize, allowing your weight to flow unimpeded down. So the Yang aspect is insubstantial, you know, the quality of fire. And so within this heaviness, there is a lightness expanding within. And this expansion of this light energy has a slight feel of inflating the body. Like the space inside your body is getting bigger, like a human-shaped balloon expanding. And the feeling should be, the energy is very unified, so it just, the body starts to feel like a light feeling all over inside. So let the breath be natural, but feel have the intention to breathe down into your dantian. Slow down your out breath. Let's just play with this idea a little bit. As you breathe out, imagine, slow down your out breath and feel your body getting heavier. And when you breathe in, feel the body inflating with a soft energy. So as you slowly breathe out, feel this idea going more passive, more towards like sleepy, lazy, restful, more heavy. When you breathe in, more inspiration, sort of like a waking up more. So you imagine if you're in water, and as you breathe out, you would sink down into the water. As you breathe in, you would float up. Okay, so let's do some Fang Song. Put your feet together. So always, eventually, you're always heavy and always light, and this is difficult to understand. So they say you're heavy as a mountain, but as light as a feather. So we have to try and understand it. So the heaviness is quite one thing, and it's the most important thing. You have to release your body. Release your body. So we say the body's always heavy, but the movements are light and effortless. And you reverse. Sometimes one thinks that the body is split in another way, yin and yang. Below the waist is more yin, or sinking heavy, and above the waist is floating up. The head top is floating up. Now, for the yin, when you lift a limb, well, in this case, the leg, you want to feel like the heaviness is like, imagine the legs asleep and somebody's got a piece of rope around your knee and they lift your knee up. It's got the heavy feeling and the movements are soft. Kicking the heads of dandelions. So try and keep nicely balanced. Heavy leg, heavy leg. And again, so lifting the knee as though the hips are asleep and the leg feels heavy. It could be lower or higher, and then stirring the pot. Smooth. So one of the features, because the activity is yang, is not just the lightness, but the kind of smooth as well as effortless movement. Heavy is for balance. Yin for balance, heaviness. Yang for mobility. Reverse. Let's go once more. Heavy body. So now heavy leg, but it moves light with softness. Smooth. And then it wants to fall. Wants to fall. If you just let go, it's going to fall. But what we do is we control that, but we let it fall forwards and down like that. So imagine it's heavy, lifting, lifting, and releasing. Lifting, lifting, and releasing. And from behind, we kind of lift the knee, but the foot goes out, then lift the knee, and then down. You could think almost it's like always the knee. So lifting the knee. Here it's like falling with control. So lift the knee like with a rope and release. from behind, lift the knee. So again, we lift the knee. It can be lower or higher, but you want to feel like your body's heavy, and then take it to the side, and then it drops to the side. You bring it across, lift it, and gently drop to the side. It's like circling, opening the hip, and the opposite. So you fall this way. Lift. So this combination of heaviness, heavy feeling of heavy body, lightness and movement. Yeah. Relax your hips. A little bit here as well. Yin is like we sit a little bit. Yang, we sort of open. So yin, as we roll the hips, sort of sinking down into the water, heavy, and then coming up a bit lighter. So when we do it like this, it's like separating the two ideas, having yin in one part of the cycle and yang open, yin relaxing down. And reverse. Marvelous. Okay. So eventually say what they say in the classics, what they call the Tai Chi classics. At first, you must know what's yin and what's yang, what it means in the body and in the movement, and so you separate what's yang and what's yin. So look at it. But eventually, all movements are both yin and yang. So we want to look at this. So we said yin. Then this with the out breath and like going to sleep, sitting the hips, but not bringing the knees forwards, and letting the upper body rest in the usual position, keeping tough, heavy. This is your sleepy yang, yin. So, and then yang is like a softness, gradually like inflating, coming up, crossing your hands. So this is open now. This is like you're opening, extending the body, not too much, but you're extending the body. Don't go too much like this. You want to be nicely sat, like if you're holding a suitcase, you could run with it. And then you're going to sleep again, and you're like sinking down heavily through the water, breathing out, if you want to coordinate the breath. So you could breathe in, and as you breathe in, your body inflates and comes up, floats up. And as you breathe out, heavy. In fact, the body's always heavy. You're always moving softly. The yang energy is soft and smooth, effortless. So when you're going down, you're sort of letting go more than the head heavier, the arms gradually heavy until you're just hanging heavy. And then gradually you're animating the body with the yang. You can feel an idea of a soft energy coming up, filling you up to the hands and emptying back down the body. So a soft inflating energy coming up from the floor, filling your legs, filling your torso, filling your arms, and eventually filling your fingertips, and then draining back down the body, deflating. Stop here. And just don't overdo it too much, but just feel lifting something up to the ceiling to get a nice little stretch. And then just hang, heavy hang. Relax your spine. And then very slowly, smoothly come up. Last thing to come up is the hip. Take a bigger posture. So horse riding posture. And again, you want to, heavy. The upper body floating up. Below, heavy. We're shifting the weight over to one side, upper body still nice floating up. Heavy this side. Stop this side, and we keep heavy below here. Strong yin, dense, heavy. Yin is represented by earth. Upper body light, heaven, light. Expanding, but relaxed. Now we transfer the weight over to your right foot, but let yourself fall to the other side. Movements, light, soft, body heavy. So when you come to the end, sink here, sink here. Don't rise here. Sink in the hip. Heavy under the waist, light above the waist. Okay, so there's many ways. Okay, relax and try and get the idea. So yin yang, yin can represent many different things, and yang many different things. It's like complementary opposites. So you have a day, for example, light and dark, night and day. It's all one day. The night would be yin, the light would be yang. You need both. And in the brightest light, there's still shade, clouds or something, there's still some yin. And in the darkest night, there's still some light from stars or phosphorescence or the moon or whatever. Okay. Just check your body. Okay, so the same idea, the upper body moving. So, we can separate again, keeping the lower body substantial and more fixed, and then the upper body falling. Feel your arm falling down your leg and your head. Fall forwards, fall over the other side. So the yang, the yin in the upper body is the heaviness still. But the yang is the movement, which is very soft and smooth and effortless. If you're just heavy, then it's okay, because yin is the foundation of yang, heaviness is the foundation of light. But if you're just heavy, it's sort of a coarse energy, and you want to then refine the light energy. But if you're just light and you have to go the other way, and if you're just yang and light and haven't got the substantial relaxation of yin, then it's also inadequate, it's too floaty. You want to have both good substance and lightness. Softness of movement, heaviness of body. Okay, fall, and then I'll slowly come up. Relax your neck, smoothly turn your head. Some of you have done this next exercise before, some of you not. It's a good way of thinking to think about the Yin Yang concept. And I've been doing Tai Chi a lot, many, many years, over 30, 35 years, and yet I still find I can learn to sometimes you forget, everybody gets tense because life is stressful. And then, you without noticing, you're holding tension in your body. You don't really notice you're doing it. And then your movements are always carrying this sort of thing. And then sometimes, now I will practice and realize that I can actually relax my shoulders even more than I imagined. So a simple thing we're going to look at is this idea that if you're in a supermarket and you reach up to a high shelf to take a can of beans, do maybe quite high, more expensive top shelf sort of thing, top shelf, and then you just bring it down. You sort of lazy. You've got a basket here. You just drop it in the basket. So you reach up, take your thing, and you put it down. Let's do the other arm, just how you would naturally sort of do it. Obviously slower than you would do it, but just reach up, take the can of beans. Remember, when you reach for things, if you look, when you reach for things, you don't reach for things. If I was reaching for something, as I reach, my hand would open. Yeah, you do this. You would be more yin here and restful. When you reach, you animate. Yeah, you would do this. Or if you're going to touch something, it's going to gently touch someone, you wouldn't do this and prod them or prod the can of beans. You would, if you want to touch it, you would kind of open your fingers. So this is more yang. Yeah. So going back again, if you put your hand on your shoulder, but very lightly, and you do the same action, but this time you think that your shoulder is asleep and your shoulder blade is weighted. So that you want this to keep down, but when you lift the arm, you feel like this is heavy. You feel it's different already. You can feel a different sensation in the muscle, and then drop it and do that once more. So try and keep your shoulder down. Don't let it do this. You can feel now, this feels like it's going down. You can also sort of feel the muscle is in a different place. Try the other side. Don't worry if you don't notice any difference. Okay, go up. Remember the fingers. So your fingers are like this. You're reaching for a can of beans, and it's in front of you. So you would, you're standing at arm's length from the. Okay, now go back to the other arm. So we're going to do the same thing. This time I want to think that the elbow has got a massive weight on it. Yeah? So you feel the hand going up and the shoulder, keep your shoulder down and keep the, and as you feel your elbow is really heavy. You reach and your elbow, the whole arm feels heavy, it feels very heavy. And then you just sort of let it gently go down and drop the can. Other side, elbow really heavy, elbow really heavy. Shoulder heavy, shoulder blade heavy. And we're looking for the movement's yang, but the arm's heavy, yin. Okay, let's move closer. We move closer. We move right up. Like me, I'm quite small, so I have to get things to the top shelf. I have to get very close. Go on. So if you like this now, you're now going to reach, and it's practically just above your head. Yeah? So if you think again that the arm is heavy, the elbow is heavy, I think your finger's going up, but up to here, there's no reason at the moment for your elbow to come up or your shoulder to do anything. Yeah, there's no reason at this point. Now, as it starts to go higher, the elbow starts coming up, but it's heavy. So you think, oh, it's heavy, it's heavy, it's heavy, it's heavy, it's heavy. So if you stop here and hold onto your fingers, you feel the arm, and if you would just totally relax, it would just drop to the floor. Yeah? Let's do the other side. So you're standing next to the shelves, and you start to reach up. You can't do this because you'd hit the shelves anyway. So you keep this down. There's no reason for this to come up at the beginning, no reason to do this. You're just doing this. And now it's going up. This is heavy. You feel a massive weight here, heavy, 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 heavy. Fingers open to reach the can. And if you hold on, let go. Okay, so going up is more yang, but it's controlled by the yin. It's sort of balanced with the heaviness of the yin. Going up, so the movement going up, let's do it once more. In our Tai Chi, we're trying to be very careful and observant of what's going on. So as the arm's going up, we're really conscious that the movement is light and soft, but the arm is really heavy. Reach. But now it wants to drop. It wants to just drop, but we control the drop. We feel the elbow is heavy, and then to the other side. Let's go closer again. You know, if you watch my arm a minute, if you watch my arm when I drop it, watch how it drops naturally. If I just let go, you can see if I slow it down, it would look like this. The elbow would go here, and then the arm would follow. If you watch, now, it doesn't sort of go like this. It just goes down. Okay, so reaching up, but we're out here. We're not up here. But it's the same feeling falling. Okay, let's do both arms. Both arms. Heavy here, heavy. Now, as the hands are going up, if you go like this, you get more and more unbalanced. So as the arms get past the shoulders, you sink down in your body a little bit, checking you're heavy. So this is yang action, but yin balance to keep your balance. Yeah, and when they drop, your body naturally kind of returns to normal. No, so don't. It's quite simple, really. Another way we could look at it is the same movement, but observing feelings. Okay, so again, get your body correct. And if you just were, say, to move the hands up to this height, to the sides, and then slowly release them like this. So as they're going up, when they're here, it's effortless, isn't it? Because you can just relax and they're heavy. As soon as you start moving them, there's effort. Even though you're trying to be relaxed and heavy, muscles have to work. But this is like a sensation in the arms. You feel as they go up, you can feel a change in the sensation. And now let them go down. So again, they're going up and out to the sides. Now, if they go higher, you can start feeling more sensation of holding the arms up, but you're trying to be relaxed. And then you feel them changing again as they go back to here. So we get them up to your shoulder height. You can feel changing, keeping the shoulders sinking, the elbows heavy, same as before, and the fingers are alive. Fingers alive. We feel now the arms feel heavy, but they're up like this. And now they're working mode. So if we stood here for some time, your arms will start to ache. Yeah. And as you go down, it gets more and more restful, more and more restful, more and more restful, more and more restful. Okay, shake it. And this idea is actually in the whole body. So we go back to doing the first exercise. Yeah. Let's look at the arms first. As the arms went up, here, there's no reason for your elbows to come up. Unless you go forwards, and then they go forwards, not up. They go up because they're going forwards. Yeah. Now, the arms continue to go up, but the elbows feel they're falling, and the shoulders feel they're falling. And now you're in the most yang place, but you feel the shoulders are almost falling into the body. And then the arms would just be literally doing this. You know? It's like you would let go and they would just fall like this. But you're doing it in slow motion. You feel that the weight of the elbows, the shoulders staying asleep, is pulling the arms down, gradually back to where you started. Do that once more. So going up is a yang activity, but we concentrate more on the yin. So the arms go up, but we concentrate more on the, well, not more, equally on the heaviness of the arms. Going down is more yin, passive movement. You can just give up to gravity, but we control it with the sensitivity, the lightness, the smoothness that comes from yang. So the entire body now takes this same feeling as the arm. So when we go down, it's like we're sinking heavily down, we're dropping like this, not like this or like this. We're dropping like, it's like we're going to go into, it's like if we carried on, we sort of go into a squat, and we're dropping, and the upper body's going to drop. We do this very smoothly. It's heavy. And now going yang, the body feels like it floats up, but remains heavy. So let's put the arms on. So as the arms do what we did, everything floats up but remains very heavy. So the arms still here feel heavy, arms heavy, body heavy, always heavy, and then down. So a couple more. It's better just to think in terms of the movement being light and smooth rather than floaty. It's okay, relax. It's better to think that all the time of heaviness and that the movements are light, not having a sense of floating, because the yin is the foundation. If we can get ourselves completely loose, then the yang will sort of look after itself. Because of course, say you were standing on a set of scales and you did this in Tai Chi, made yourself heavy, you wouldn't be heavier on the scales. You would be the same weight. So it's about releasing the body. You know, you could be very stiff and be the same weight. It's about releasing the body and allowing the water, if you like, to flow. Okay, it doesn't mean in reality, obviously heavier. But you could have a feeling of being like when you raise the arm, being too sort of floating, maybe the shoulders float up or something like this. So thinking more heavy, heavy, heavy is the better way to go. Okay, so let's apply that to the silk reeling that we've been doing. And today we'll just take a reasonably, just two of your own feet, sort of establish nice horse riding, nice heaviness, left and right down. Okay, and then we're turning on the axis, so we're going to put the weight towards the side we turn. So I turn towards the windows, my weight goes in the side of the windows. And because I want to be very steady, I feel like I go very heavy onto the foot and then turn. Very heavy as I turn. More as you go heavy on the foot and you're turning. Trying to keep your upper body, head floating up, body sinking down. Okay, marvelous. Now, looking at the method we used before. Yeah? So our hands, when they're down here, more yin, but yin has yang in it. Yin shouldn't be like this. If your fingers are like this, this is yang, this is yin, but no yang. Yeah? Like this. But not, but when they move, they're going to open a little bit. And we're going to keep them open there. So reach up for the can of beans, but it's ahead of us and in front of our shoulders. So. But it feels like this is heavy. Once more, use a different image. Think that the hand is floating up in the water, but the arm is very heavy. But the reaching means your fingers like this. So now we've got to keep this feeling of everything heavy. Heavy. That's comfortable and light. And then wait on this side and turn, and you're bringing your fingers back, you're bringing your hand back, because you're thinking about the wave. We're standing in the lake up to our chin, and then keeping this heavy feeling, we're going to go heavy on this side and gently pull the water forwards so that we send the weight back to this position. Yeah? So we're going back to collect the water, weight on this side, then we're going to change the weight and we're going to throw the water forwards. Yeah? So we're going to collect the water, change the weight, and throw the water with a very relaxed, heavy arm. Okay, now we're on this side. Then we want to do it the other way. So we turn the body and we turn the hand over as we turn. Keeping this. Don't do this. This is tension. Keep this the same. Don't do this. This doesn't. This is the same. Don't do this. And now our weight goes into the other foot and we gently throw the water forwards like this. Let's do it a few times. So here, I turn towards the window. My weight's on the window side. Now I sink back into the other foot as I pull the water forwards, and I imagine the wave going across. So I can do both sides. So I sink back, keeping level. Don't do this. Keep your shoulders level. And now transfer the weight, pull forwards, and then prepare on the other side. We don't actually stop here, but we want to acknowledge the middle place. Put your hand on your abdomen, other hand, and feel you transfer and you turn, and this pulls the arm. So you're pulling your body from here. And feel now that the fingers are being slightly pulled back by the water. The elbow's always heavy in the water, the shoulder's heavy, your body's heavy, you don't want to float off. Okay, marvelous. When you do it well, at the beginning, there's usually a feeling that your arm feels a little bit achy, and this is fine. Don't worry about that. Okay, so the hands floating up, elbow heavy, shoulder heavy, body heavy. Weight on the window side, turn, collect the water. Transfer the weight, turn, pull the water. Halfway, turn to gather the water. Nice and open here, because you want to throw the water with the body, not the arm. So this takes a while in Tai Chi to stop yourself from moving the upper body. So at first people tend to move from the upper body and not from the hips. So we have to learn in the end to move from here. Here. Softness. So you're heavy, but the movements are soft and smooth and light. And marvelous, wonderful. Okay, well done. Relax. Just relax your arms. So now we want to establish, both arms, and both arms is just the same. Obviously, it's exactly the same, except you've got one arm doing one and the one arm doing the other. So again, find your upright axis, not leaning, not collapsed. But the song with the posture, they call the song with the posture, is the first two lines are relaxed but not collapsed. Yin, but not totally yin, a little bit of yang in it. The second line is extending, but not extended. So not extended, that would be too much, but extending, opening inside. It's the balance of these two things. So now trying to keep your chest sinking. Don't do this. Try and keep your chest sinking, your body sinking, your shoulders sinking. If anything, as the arms come up, sink a little bit more, but they float up together. Feel all this. So relax it, not the chest. Relax the chest. Relax your back. The back naturally open. Sitting. My weight's goes to the window side. I turn towards the window from here. And now I have one hand. But the front is open like this. Don't do this. And now I sit to the other side and gently pull the water forwards and then prepare on the other side. So my weight goes, I sit, be heavy, Sit on this side, you'll throw the water forwards nice and slowly. Sink to the other side. So as you go to the side, sink. Get your prepared body heavy. And then you transfer the weight and you turn at the center. The arms just follow the body. You keep them, you're keeping the hands for this exercise, roughly the same height, shoulder height or slightly higher, all the way through the movement. And you're transferring the weight. And as I said before, concentrate now your shoulders, shoulder blades heavy. You may find it doesn't take very long before your shoulders feel a bit achy. Okay, good. Relax. So luckily, in the routines we do, we don't have them up all the time. So the same thing, we put the hands up. And if they drop through the water, remember, don't do this where the hands go like those. The elbows are dropping. The elbows are dropping to bring the hands down. Yeah? Don't do this. Everything's dropping. The elbows are dropping, and the hands can be lower like this. Shoulders stay the same, chest the same, body the same. Except now we can do like here, splashing forwards. Turn, splashing forwards. But I mean, we're not splashing. We're playing with the water in the lake. You just run. You can have it really low, like this, even. You know, and then you can feel like your hands are like drooping in the water, and you're just swirling the water. You know, like you might do. Next time you see a lake, get into it. It may be a little bit higher. You could be anywhere, anywhere. You can see basically the body's not doing very much. It sinks to one side and it just stays like this. The shoulders don't do much at all. Slightly, they do something, but you want to think that they don't. Yeah, and the body heavy. So when I do this, if you look at my torso, you can see there's not much change. You know? I'm doing a thing, but I'm not kind of doing this. You see my body twisted. Practice and we get better. So from that simple beginning, we can have lots of patterns, which we've been looking at. So the very nice pattern is just to go round like in circles. So if we started at the top one, here. Weight on the side of the windows. And now I'm going to lower the hands as I turn. So I feel the elbows just drop down through the water like this. And as that happens, my whole body sinks down. And I feel the arms going to the lower place. So I can now do a low one to the middle. Now the arms are going to float up again. But in fact, the whole body feels slightly like that. But as the body floats up, you still sink into the leg. Now you have upper, halfway, and then as you turn, everything goes down. Halfway up. And now you can see, if you watch me a moment, you can see there's a circle. So I'll exaggerate. Sink, turn. They come up and across. So what I could feel more is that this area does a slide. I always feel like it's circles, because this is the thing, really. We're leading the arms somehow from the bottom. Anyway, try. Here, keep the palms here, they're pushing down the water, pushing down as you turn into the water. So it's a slight curve. Then go through the water. Then they float up and then go across. Soft as you can, as languid as you can. So now think mostly of the body being really heavy. Like as the arms go up here, relax, heavy, heavy. Don't float. Don't float away. But then even heavy, heavy. Okay, reverse, reverse. You know, practice this. It's a nice thing to do. But basically, you're just doing down, low, up, high, down, low, as you keep turning up. And you're keeping your palms, obviously you turn them here, but now the palms go through the water here, the palms go through the water here, the palms go through the water, and they change here. They change over. Okay, stop a moment. And once again, just stop and watch. Stop and watch. Don't do this. Keep your elbows heavy. Yeah. Now, if you watch my body, notice my body stays the same. Yeah. Notice the body stays the same. Don't do this twisting. Don't do this hunching. Okay, and that's sorry, we'll stop after 4 rings. Normally my wife takes it in the other room. She's gone out. Should be it. Oh, I'm wrong. Oh, it is. Okay, so so the one that we've been hoping to learn more is called the waving hands in the clouds. And this time we start with one high, one low. One high, one low. So when we get back, but now, as we prepare, we change. So this one floats up, this one sinks down. Now this one goes up, this one wave forward, this one. Big wave, splash. And then we change. This one goes up, this one goes down. Check your body. I'm just going to carry on doing it for a couple of minutes. I just want you to try and find it yourself. Softness. My weight goes towards the windows, I turn towards the windows. And I'll go away from the windows, the weight goes away from it. In this exercise, it doesn't have to, but I'm asking you to do that. Feel the fingers being slightly pulled back. So again, concentrate now, both your shoulders all the time are really heavy. Sleep. Don't do anything with them. You know, your elbows are heavy. Although the arm floats up, the elbow is heavy. So this is the pattern, and then you have to learn to be more. Stop here. Check. Body ready. Heavy. Sink into your foot and gently bring the hands forward. Turn. Check yourself here. Transfer the weight. Gently pull the hands from the water. Okay, excellent. I mean, if you've managed to get the basic idea, then you can only improve. I often say it's a bit like learning to walk if you didn't have any legs. You know, first maybe a teacher would try and make you do things very exact. So like give you a pair of wooden legs, and then to walk, you'd have to kind of do this to walk, you know, shuffle almost like with your bottom shuffling. And this would get you used to doing this, moving from here. And then after a while, you get a better, you know, you can relax your knees more, and you still do the same, but your sort of your knees and ankles are more relaxed. It's still not a very good walk, but then if you practice more, it gets more and more natural, until finally you don't have to do much, and you just walk in very naturally. But now you're walking with the correct feeling. This is the same. So when you're not supposed to be excellent. You know, you're going to make, everybody's going to have their own problem. Thing is to listen to what I asked you to do, and obviously you're trying to do it, and that's enough. Your mind is occupied. Okay, the other one we really wanted to look at, we'll do it with feet together today, or feet shoulder width. So the first movement we've already done, because it's reaching out for the level, you know, the water at the height of your ear, say. And remember the fingers open, you don't want to do this dead hand. So you're reaching out, reaching out. So the hand more like this to start with. And then it's going to drop through the water. Drop through the water. So when it drops, is the elbow drops. Just to here. Still got some yang in it, not completely yin. Remember, here's yang, but it's heavy with the yin. Here's more yin, but it's still floating. This is called floating on a cushion of air. And then you go more yin. Turn. So you'll be turning like this. And now the hand comes up to the ear, but the elbow doesn't come up. Don't lift the elbow. And the shoulder isn't moving. And I'll do this, put your hand on the shoulder. It comes up. Because it comes forwards, the elbow goes forwards like this. It's behind, and because the hand comes up, it naturally pulls your elbow forwards. You don't have to think about it. Just keep your elbow low, and then reach out for the cow. So it's going down. Reach behind, keep your elbow, shoulder down. This is like pushing the water a little bit. Or we can do it like this or like this, doesn't matter. So then we do that more, make your body sunk. Yeah, and when we're here, pushing forward, we actually turn so that it's slightly more over here. You can see instead of here, I turn, my weight's on this side. Now I drop the weight like before, this side. As I do that, the hand drops through the water. So everything drops like this, but smoothly. Now I reach behind. This is the same position as this one, except this time, as I sink this time and turn, I bring the hand up to the ear and then forwards. So the body, put your hand here. You pull yourself this way for this part, and then you go the other way for this part. Keep your shoulder down. Heavy into the right, this leg, heavy into the other leg. Keep upright. Again, stop a moment, watch me. Turning here, but notice again, this area, not much change. Watch my shoulder. Don't do this. Habit. Other side. Down through the water. Up through the water. Push. You know, those of you who've done more, you can think keeping your knees from moving in and out. They can go forwards and backwards. Moving from your hip, from your quad, or turning the wings. Keeping your axis. Everything moving from the center. Consistent, nice pace. Body heavy, movements light. Let's do both. Keep those shoulders down. Keep your elbows weighted. We have to practice. When you turn to the left, remember there's a consistency in what we've done. When we turn to the left, the weight goes into the left side. When I turn towards the window, the weight on the window side. If I turn away, the weight goes to the other side. Slowly, slowly. Do it with me. Keep your eye on the screen. Do it at the same speed as me. So you want to turn here slowly, not like, okay, but you can do it fast, don't worry, I shouldn't have said that. Do it however you like. But gradually you want to be able to slow it down. Okay, excellent, good. So today, subject obviously Yin Yang. Yin Yang is a philosophy, actually. I mean, this symbol, this Yin Yang symbol, is more correctly called the Tai Chi symbol. The Tai Chi symbol represents Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a philosophy, and a philosophy is about everything being balanced between complementary opposites. For example, the moon is moving. It wants to go. If the Earth, if the Earth wasn't there, the moon would just go off. But because it's trying to go off, but at the same time it's attracted to the Earth. If the movement wasn't there, it would just fall to the Earth. So it's in harmonious balance. But the energy pulling it down is balanced with the energy moving it away. Maybe it's slightly more, so eventually it will hit the Earth, but not long after we've gone. Or maybe it will do the opposite. But at the moment it's in balance, a harmonious balance, And this philosophy is applied to many, many things. It's the basis of Chinese medicine, for example, as well as Tai Chi Chuan, which is the martial art. And when we do this speeded up can become martial, blocking people trying to hit you or whatever, other way. Or you want to hit them or something, but we're not doing that. We're doing it for health. But it's the basis of Tai Chi Chuan. Chuan means boxing. Philosophy of Yin and Yang to boxing. We're using the philosophy of Yin and Yang for health cultivation. So in the body, we always try and keep the body harmonious. We don't want the body to be like too heavy and collapsed and without life. But we don't want to be too sort of like open and like this. We want to have this balance where we're heavy and soft, like the stance, all these things balanced in the body. So let's just finish with the closing exercise. We'll keep the same theme for a moment. First of all, sink down into the water. Okay. Now you're floating up a heavy and feel like the sensations like we did. Keep the shoulders down, elbows weighted. So when you're up, the arms are up, but they feel like heavy. And then your whole body sinks down and the elbows drop and the arms drop with the body. So you're breathing in, everything goes up, but heavy. Light yang, but heavy yin. Going down, sinking, heavy yin, but balanced with the smoothness and lightness of yang. Breathing in and imagine collecting the harmonious chi of nature, and you're bringing it through your body, washing your body, relaxing your body. This is a lovely exercise just to do by itself, especially if you feel stressed. And if you've got a nice garden, or you can go out for a nice walk to somewhere that looks nice, or you've got a nice tree somewhere, you can sort of feel like you're bringing in the imagination of reaching out for the bounteous nature of what you're looking at or whatever. It's just a way of getting the mind to feel nice. Okay, if you'd like to unmute yourselves.